Act 4 in 4 minutes or less. Scene 1 begins with Paris talking to Friar Lawrence about how he's going to marry Juliet, because Juliet's dad thinks it's going to help her get over Tybalt's death. This raises red flags for the friar. Remember, Juliet isn't that sad about Tybalt's death. She's actually more sad that Romeo has been banished. The friar kind of regrets being in the middle of all this drama. Just then, Juliet shows up to ask the friar for his help. Paris flirts with her, which Juliet responds to without much emotion. Paris leaves so that Juliet can confess to the friar, aka ask him for help. Juliet says she'd rather kill herself than marry Paris. In fact, other alternatives include being mauled by bears, trapped with snakes, and being taken by robbers. The friar, however, comes up with a plan. He proposes that Juliet agrees to marry Paris, but the night before her wedding takes a fake-your-own-death potion. Her family will think that she's dead and put her in the Capulet tomb, where Romeo will come and pick her up and take her to live with him in Mantua. Juliet agrees, and the friar gives her the potion. Back at Juliet's house, Lord and Lady Capulet are getting ready for Juliet's wedding. Juliet shows up and completes step 1 of the plan and tells them that she's happy to marry Paris and that she's sorry for disobeying them. Lord Capulet is so happy about this that he decides to move the wedding up to tomorrow, Wednesday, and he leaves to go tell Paris. The plan is already going wrong. That night, Juliet asks the nurse and her mother to let her alone in her bedchamber. Alone, Juliet wonders if the friar means to really kill her to cover up his part in her and Romeo's marriage. She fears that she may wake up alone in the tomb. Then, Juliet has a vision that Tybalt's ghost is searching for Romeo. She cries out for Tybalt to stop looking for Romeo, then toasts to her husband and downs the potion. The next morning, the Capulets are finishing the wedding preparations. Lord Capulet sends a nurse to go wake up Juliet. The nurse shows up to Juliet's room, thinks that she's asleep, but soon realizes that she's dead, and wails. Lady Capulet comes up and cries for help. Lord Capulet comes up and confirms that Juliet is dead. Remember, she's not really dead. The friar and Paris show up and say that they brought musicians with them. Lord Capulet says they won't need the musicians after all. Juliet is dead. She married death. Paris is understandably upset. The friar reminds everyone that Juliet is in a much better place, and they all leave to go mourn her. The nurse tells the musicians that they can leave as well, but Peter tries to get them to play a song. The musicians feel like that's kind of inappropriate, considering the situation, and Peter leaves. The musicians agree to stick around until lunch is served so that they can eat.